Success, as Napoleon Hill reveals, is not an accident, it is a science. It's a pattern of thought, feeling, and daily practice that anyone can learn, refine, and embody. In the Daily Success Formula, Hill doesn't merely instruct us on what success looks like, he dissects the psychology, discipline, and invisible forces that construct it. The book is not about sudden luck or fleeting motivation, it's about designing a way of life so aligned with purpose, clarity, and persistence that success becomes inevitable. Hill begins with one of his most profound truths: you become what you think about most of the time. This is not a poetic suggestion, it is a universal law. Our minds are magnets, constantly attracting the circumstances that mirror our dominant thoughts. If we think of failure, scarcity, and doubt, life obliges with experiences that reflect them. But when we fill our minds with definite goals, faith, and a clear sense of purpose, we begin to magnetize the people, ideas, and opportunities needed to fulfill them. He teaches that every great achievement starts as a thought seed. Just as a farmer chooses the right seeds and nurtures them daily, we too must tend to our inner gardens with discipline. Success is not born from one grand gesture, it's grown through consistent, small choices repeated over time. Hill urges readers to begin each day with intention. He invites us to write down our goals, visualize them vividly, and affirm them aloud. This is not superstition, it is conditioning. Each morning, when you declare what you intend to create, you reprogram your subconscious mind to search for pathways that align with your vision. But Napoleon Hill reminds us that clarity without discipline is wishful thinking. Discipline, he says, is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the invisible force that separates those who almost succeed from those who truly do. Hill emphasizes the importance of developing habitual action. Every habit, good or bad, becomes a brick in the foundation of your destiny. Thus, we must ask ourselves daily, what habits am I building that are building me? He illustrates this through the story of a young salesman who once came to him, frustrated that he could not close enough deals. Hill observed that the man's problem was not talent, it was his routine. He was scattered, reactive, and lacked a definite plan. Hill helped him design a daily success formula: wake early, review his goals, make a prioritized list, visualize successful interactions, and spend each evening reflecting on what worked and what didn't. Within 3 months, the salesman doubled his income. The magic wasn't in the external world, it was in the quiet order he created within himself. Hill's teachings in this book remind us that success is not found in extraordinary bursts of effort, it's found in the quiet consistency of daily purpose. He describes a simple but profound principle: do more than you are paid for, and soon you will be paid for more than you do. This idea of going the extra mile is at the heart of his philosophy. It's about cultivating excellence as a habit, not as a response to reward. When we give more value than expected, we activate one of life's unseen laws, the law of increase. It states that life always expands in the direction of generosity and contribution. Through touching examples, Hill shows that many of history's great achievers, Edison, Ford, Carnegie, began with little more than desire, persistence, and a daily plan. Their success was not luck, but the accumulated result of countless small acts of faith. Each day, they did something, however small, that moved them closer to their dream. The lesson is clear: greatness is not a single act, it is a ritual. Hill also emphasizes emotional mastery as an essential component of the daily success formula. Emotions, he says, are powerful currents that can either carry us toward our goals or pull us into self-sabotage. Fear, doubt, anger, or jealousy can quietly drain our creative energy. Thus, he encourages daily self-check-ins, moments to pause, breathe, and realign with gratitude and optimism. A calm, focused mind is a fertile ground for success, a restless, anxious one is not. In one striking passage, Hill recalls a conversation with Andrew Carnegie, who shared the idea that self-control is the balance wheel of success. It's not enough to have ambition, one must have mastery over one's reactions, impulses, and moods. Every day presents temptations, to procrastinate, to complain, to blame, but the true winner disciplines his emotions as carefully as his schedule. When we control ourselves, Hill says, we become powerful creators rather than passive reactors to life. He also discusses the subtle yet transformative power of faith, not necessarily religious faith, but faith in one's purpose and potential. Hill calls it, the unseen force that turns invisible thoughts into visible realities. Every goal begins as an act of belief. Without faith, plans dissolve under the first sign of difficulty. But with it, obstacles become stepping stones. Hill urges readers to nurture faith through affirmation, visualization, and repetition. These daily practices build a subconscious certainty that success is already unfolding, which draws the necessary conditions into being. The book also teaches us to guard our environment. Our surroundings, people, conversations, and habits shape our mindset more than we realize. Hill advises surrounding yourself with those who uplift, challenge, and inspire you. Negative company, he warns, is like poison to ambition. In contrast, even one conversation with an inspired soul can ignite weeks of renewed energy. He describes this as building a mastermind, a group of individuals united in purpose, whose collective intelligence becomes greater than the sum of its parts. Another profound insight from Hill's formula is the importance of definite purpose. Without a clearly defined goal, energy scatters; with purpose, it focuses. He uses the analogy of sunlight. Diffuse light warms, but focused light burns through steel. The same is true for human potential. Once we define what we truly want, not what others expect of us, we unleash a power that guides our daily thoughts and actions like a compass pointing north. He suggests writing down one's major goal every morning, then asking a simple but life-changing question: what one action can I take today that brings me closer to this purpose? This question, practiced daily, transforms chaos into clarity. It dissolves procrastination because each day becomes meaningful, purposeful, and aligned with your vision. Throughout the book, Hill acknowledges that failure is not an enemy, it is feedback. Every temporary setback holds the seed of equal or greater success. The key is to treat each obstacle as a teacher rather than a verdict. Hill reminds us that Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, yet he never considered those failures wasted. Each one taught him what didn't work, and brought him closer to what did. The daily success formula, therefore, is not about avoiding failure but about learning from it efficiently. In one particularly moving reflection, Hill speaks about gratitude as the silent accelerator of success. Gratitude transforms frustration into faith and scarcity into abundance. Each morning and evening, he suggests listing things to be thankful for, not only what we have but what we are becoming. Gratitude, he says, harmonizes us with the higher frequencies of life. It keeps us emotionally rich even before material wealth arrives. He also warns of one of success's greatest enemies, drifting. Drifting happens when we live reactively, allowing circumstances to dictate our days. Hill describes it as a subtle form of self-betrayal. The antidote, he teaches, is daily intentionality. Each morning must begin with a conscious decision about how we will think, feel, and act. Life rewards the deliberate, not the distracted. As the book unfolds, Hill's message deepens into something almost spiritual. He shows that success is not merely about wealth or status, it's about the expansion of the soul. When you commit to daily growth, integrity, and contribution, you evolve into a higher version of yourself. Material success then becomes a reflection of inner harmony. The true formula for daily success, therefore, is this: to think clearly, act purposefully, give generously, and persist relentlessly. By the end of the daily success formula, the reader understands that the greatest victory is not in achieving a single goal, but in mastering oneself. The formula is not a secret code, it is a daily devotion, a disciplined alignment of thought, emotion, and action toward a noble aim. Success, Hill reminds us, is not pursued, it is attracted by the person you become. Imagine waking each morning not as a prisoner of routine, but as an artist shaping the day. You greet the sunrise with gratitude, affirm your purpose, and take deliberate steps toward your vision. You treat others with respect, do more than is required, and end the day in reflection. Such a life, Hill says, inevitably blossoms into prosperity, because it honors the universal laws that govern success. In essence, the daily success formula is not just a guidebook, it's a mirror. It reflects the truth that greatness already resides within us, waiting for daily discipline to awaken it. Each day is a page in the story of our destiny. And with each intentional thought, grateful heart, and courageous act, we write the masterpiece of our success, one day at a time.